Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're looking at another one of Miyazaki's masterpieces, Spirited Away.
Chihiro and her parents stumble upon a seemingly abandoned amusement park. After her mother and father turn into giant pigs, Chihiro, that's how it's pronounced, meets the mysterious Haku, who explains that the park is a resort for supernatural beings who need a break from their time spent in the earthly realm, and that she must work there to free herself and her parents. Mm-hmm. And Haku is voiced by Jason Marsden, and it was so wonderful when you caught it. You're like, "That's Jason Marsden!"
Yeah, so I was like, "Wait a minute," because it was so instant when you hear him. It's really recognizable because this movie was made in 2001, and Sheldon come out till 2 years later. So that was close to either his regular voice or his Chase Young voice.
Yes.
For me, that's like, oh my gosh.
And he was the spirit of the wind?
The water.
The water, yeah. Spirit of the water. Reminds you of Sheldon. It's like this foreshadowing.
Right.
But this was an absolutely fascinating movie. Beautifully done. Beautiful scenery. Something I'd never seen before. At that time, very, very unique. And of course, in the future, reminds you of Coco and
The Book of Life?
Yes.
And it was a little different than we thought it was going to be. We thought it was going to have more of those elements that Coco and Book of Life focus on.
I actually thought it was going to be more kind of scary in terms of like ghosts and things. It was totally unlike I expected.
Right, and they had spirits in here, but it wasn't the way that's usually done in Western animation, where most of the time when they do that here, the entire focus is on the eerie supernatural part of it. Where in here, where she's in this spirit world, but it's not so much as scary and creepy and raised against life. It's just, this is the world centered around. You got friendly ones, you got mean ones, you got cranky ones, you got all different types.
Right.
So it's not just one type of thing meant to scare you.
Right. And there were some wonderful lessons, as usual, wrapped up amidst all of the activity that went on.
Right.
But first, let's address the brilliant voice cast. The English dub voice cast.
Yeah, as we mentioned, we have Jason Marsden.
We had David Chase, I think that's how it's pronounced, who voiced Lilo and Stitch, one of your favorite movies of all time.
Right.
Your childhood.
Yeah, David Ogden Steers, which I was kind of surprised.
Tara Strong.
John Ratzenberger.
Michael Chiklis, the original Thing from the Fantastic Four movies.
Jack Angel. Bob Bergen. Roger Bumpass.
Paul Eiding.
Oh, yeah, Grandpa Max, Jim Ward, and Jennifer Darling. They had just so many all-stars, whether in acting or voice acting, because that's one of the highlights, many highlights of a Miyazaki film. When they get to the English dub, they really have major talent in both aspects to do the English dub.
And then they had Suzanne Plachette, who was a really huge actress that our Nana knew about, and she was Yubaba and her twin sister. Right.
And we thought that was a pretty interesting character too for both of them, because of how the world's set up. Everyone is very uniquely designed, and they explain on how this realm worked. I mean, when you first watch the movie, it starts out like it's going to be like any other movie, and then they go to this place where they have this empty town, and they have all this food there, and the parents are just greedily getting the food.
Before they get there, the car stops at that little entryway, and then they go walk through it, and she's like, I don't think this is a good idea, we should just turn back. Oh, nothing's wrong, and they go walk through that tunnel, and they end up there. And then, like you said, they get to that restaurant, and
it's like, wait a minute, there's no people there. Shouldn't there be something wrong with a buffet of no people?
Yeah, why would you eat the food? And she's like, no, she wouldn't eat it. And I'm like you, it's like, if I see food laying like that and there's nobody there, I'm sure in the heck not going to eat it.
Right, and then you find out these were the food they made for the spirits, because when it hit sundown, they'd all would come out and it'd be nighttime. So the punishment for taking that, they were turned into giant pigs. So I guess
they turned into hogs. Well, not giant pigs, hogs, Texas size hogs.
Texas hogs, yeah. But yes, and we were kind of surprised in how when it was I think, a 2-hour movie once again. And how the entire story plays out. It's like 2 hours. Oh my gosh.
I have no idea because, again, when we watch Miyazaki movies, time just stands still. It just, I don't know if I should say it stands still or it just flies because I have no concept of it when we watch his movies. Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, it's over. And what is the thing? I always say, it can't be over already. And you're like, Mom, it's been 2 hours.
Right?
But it never seems like you've been watching that long because it's so engaging and wonderfully done and wonderful stories. You just don't realize that clock is moving.
Right. And as we learned while reading a little bit about Miyazaki and the process of his films, was that the reason why all the films are pretty much 90 minutes or nearly 2 hours is the fact that Disney, when they have acquisition of distributing the films through their company, they're not allowed to edit down the films or cut things out, make deleted scenes. Everything that's in the movie has to stay in there and no edits can be made to it. Mm-hmm. So if Disney had gotten it, they said there would be things they would take out that they would feel weren't important to the story or were too slow. But luckily, due to the contract, you get to see the whole movie's entirety. Mm-hmm. You get to see all the story, all the detail, all the fun,
music.
all the music, all the great animation, all of the little intricate parts of characters and niches that Miyazaki wanted when you watch the process of the animation.
Right.
And it all stands out. And I believe if you take anything out of it, it's really going to affect your viewing of the movie because you're wondering what happened there, or why didn't this happen, or why is this here?
So, and I always wondered why, when you're on different social media sites, that this is one of the favorite movies. And after watching it, now I can see why. If you were to list your favorites for his movies, this would be in the top 3. Mm-hmm. Probably one of the top 2. It's just an absolutely brilliantly done movie. Mm-hmm. And again, at the time it was made, there was nothing else like it. And you can see the inspiration for Coco. You can see the inspiration for Book of Life. You can see that even if there were mythologies or legends in those cultures that are similar, you still can see the influence of Miyazaki's version of Spirited Away on those other movies.
Right. And like I said, watching it, she has to work at this bathhouse for the spirits where I guess they end up getting really dirty and they have to cleanse them. And this is like every night, so it's like, it tells you a lot about the planet Earth when they go there. And it's really funny how they've set up the entire place. It's not just like a regular one where they have like a sauna or a spa or something. They have all these different types of tubs that they have, and these human-looking spirits that work there, and of how the cleansing process works. And they had one that was just gook and muck from inside and out, and it required like whole ton of soap and everything. And then when they would get paid, they usually get paid in gold, and then like the dirtier the customer is, and the bigger the amount of money they'll get when they get clean. And they start celebrating when they get the payday.
But no one wanted to be bothered with this particular guest. Remember?
Right.
No one
They're like, we gotta clean up the entire bathhouse.
You're gonna use all your tokens for him because they got the little tokens. Remember, to get the water to come down, and then they would have to clean the tub out in between the guests, so that it will be clean for the next one.
Right.
And everybody didn't get a token, just the filthiest one.
Right. Yeah. And another thing really stands up for a lot of people when they watch, like we've heard and read, is for the girl and the main character, of how she goes through the development from the beginning of the movie to the end, where she seems very a little scared of things. There's kind of scaredy, like a bit of a scaredy cat at the beginning, even though, sure, her suspicions were correct. I mean, as you can see, but you understood that she was sort of timid about a lot of things, especially when they had brought up the beginning of the movie. They're moving to a new place. She's going to a new school. Now that part you never see because the movie is strictly about this setting and this story. Right. But you get that this was already there before the movie even starts. Right. And then as she gets through the entire movie, she grows in terms of her courage and what she's willing to go through to save her parents.
But the one main thing that she did have that her grandfather pointed out, and he said she has a heart filled with love. And her love made everything end up going beautifully. Even when it was a situation that seemed it was going to be dark or turn out horrific or just wouldn't go well, her love came through. Like when she saved Haku as the dragon when he was attacked, and she wouldn't stop chasing him down so she could help him. No one else wanted to be bothered. No one else wanted to do anything. And she wouldn't stop until she got to him, and she begged for him to be saved. And then when she offered to go to the place that she needed to go to without, spoiling so much of it, so that he could be saved, she said, I'll go. I'll do it. Do you understand? You got to take this bus. You got to do this. Yes. And you're going to do all this? And she said, yes.
Right.
And her love was the greatest thing that she had. Her love was the greatest gift, her greatest talent that she had and gift to offer.
Right.
And that's what made her special in this spirit world, that she had love.
Right. And that is a common theme with some of Miyazaki's films, with the power of love. It's not like we're here where someone mentions it and they think it's a hippie thing or whatever. In here, and in like Nausicaa and Ponyo and some other films, love is always a big part of it, where it really helps them.
Totoro.
Right. It really helps them achieve anything. And it's very apparent in here, and Nausicaa is how strong it can be when you use that instead of fighting or war. So it really shines through in here, probably this, if not more, than with Nausicaa with that theme.
Yes, definitely. And as usual, it was when she left to take that bus to go to the other place to see Yobaba's sister, and the beautiful, of course, he always has the beautiful settings in the drawings, and you saw all of that, and that contrasted what you saw at the bathhouse and in the other place she was at, that she had to work. There was just a distinct contrast between that portion of that spirit world, and then when she was traveling, the beautiful area she went through to get to Zababa's place.
Right. And the names, a lot of the names, are really creative. It's almost like reminds you a little bit of Star Wars when they have names that, really stand out and are really fun sounding or creative names. And like Star Wars has stuff where you won't hear these names anywhere else. And for here it's the same thing. Most of them are Japanese names, or they're based off of lore and mythology in that country, but they're very recognizable. And like when you hear the name, you'll associate it with that character. You're not going to think of something else or another legend or something. You're going to think of this character from this movie. So it's instantly recognizable.
Yes, definitely. And this is one of, would you say, his older movies?
Yes, because this was 2001, and like we said, for Nausicaa, some other ones that came out in the 80s and the 70s and stuff, so he's been making movies for a long time. It's just the release of them from Japan or in America, and the release between each other are just like far off in between. And I think that's a good thing, because when we look at the behind the scenes stuff, they work very hard. When they film them, it's clear they're working hard and tirelessly. They're working multiple hour shifts to make the movies and make sure all the details are right. They're meeting deadlines, and Miyazaki's making noodles for everybody. He uses 10, 11, 12, 13 packets of instant noodles to cook for everybody. And it shows how passionate he is about his movie and everything being just right, without it looking like he's a perfectionist. It's just really fun. Even when they get a little tired and, working that hard, understandably, it shows that how much they really cared about the project and how much they were willing to go through to see it through and finished.
Right.
Even when we saw the Japanese voice actors, they were really having fun, and the way they did recording was much different, where you had to do it in one take.
Right. They weren't in a booth. They were actually, all the people that worked there plus the voice actor were all in one room with a microphone in the middle. And here they like to put you in a booth separate from everyone else. And we were really shocked that that's how they record. in a room with all these people in it, and the person's just there with a microphone.
Right.
Everyone has to be really, really quiet.
Right, because the minute there's another noise or a mess up, you gotta start all over. It's not like they can go and edit it out. So, that really made it look like you gotta do it on this take, gotta do it on this take. And they even brought fried chicken at one point, which was hilarious. And then someone ate most of it.
And more special features that are interesting are seeing how they chose the different Japanese voice actors. And when you hear them, you're like, wow. And I think that's really what's great about his movies is that you have the Japanese cast, you have the English dub cast, and each cast makes the movie special. You don't listen and go, at least we don't, oh, well, this is better than this one. No, it doesn't happen. It's such brilliant and perfect casting for the dub, whether it's Japanese or English. It just works. It's just perfect.
Right. And we see that a lot of the times that the people who do the English dub, when they watch the movie in Japanese, they really are into the movie, and that's why they end up doing the role so well and delivering the lines, because they really love the movie. First time viewing it, it's just seen in Japanese. They might put the same amount of effort into it as the original voice actors.
Absolutely. So if you've seen Spirited Away, let us know what you think in the comments below. If you haven't, you should. And it should be available at a public library near you. I'm sure it's available for sale on Amazon. I don't know if it's on Amazon Prime, but you can check and take a look. This is one of Miyazaki's movies. If you haven't seen it, you should.
Right. And be sure to like, subscribe, including notification bell to get updates on new Paws podcasts and World of Paws videos.
And more Miyazaki films that we will be reviewing.
Yes. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Oscar Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.
And reporters sitting, flashing lights, trying to walk around, man, who the hell are you? What you want to do? Well, man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. Hit her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket. Give it to you later on in the form of a locket.